So let's go through all the active coins in alphabetical order as usual, starting with Aave. I'm going to keep on a monthly scale. Maybe that makes sense because then it will give us a bigger picture. Maybe a weekly. Let's keep it weekly. We had last time we had monthly. Let's see weekly. Yeah. Okay. Now we see this candle has taken down this one. This is penetration, as I mentioned earlier in the Bitcoin session. This is penetration. This is the week hasn't ended below this one. So you see the point. And this is weekly time frame. So the week hasn't ended. It went down, broken from price, but intra-week movement. So if the week ends then below, then only you can say this is taken. Otherwise, you cannot say that, technically speaking. Okay. Now, so what you can say now is a retest of June low at this moment. In other words, if this is taken, then there's no support but this 74. Yeah, when it was here, there were multiple supports because there were multiple point of bounce. If you look at this one, if this is taken, there's nothing but this level, 75 to 90, 100 range, 96 range, right? So that's why you would understand why I'm serious, right? But seeing is believing. Seeing is believing. This hasn't taken, so this is something for us to monitor. But you are obviously now by this time you at least understood that this is not to be taken lightly, right? It's not about panicking, but you cannot take it lightly. This has to be your ultimate support around this level. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. I may not repeat these statements because more or less it's going to be the same for all. I'll just point out, correct? ADA, you'll see this one, it hit this one. There was a support 1.22. It's bouncing. Let's see how high it goes and so on. You can draw a line, then it will meet this line. If you could draw this line here, yeah. So right now this is the first, today's low is the first defense, and then this cluster you may say 0.93 is the next defense. That's it. It has to reach much higher level, as you could imagine now, because all this has reset the clock, right? It was anyway going down. It was, we mentioned that it is flat, it was doing nothing, and we were not paying attention on ADA, and now it just then it went down. So ADA was anyway not doing anything for last many weeks. Algo uh, has broken, penetrated, I should use penetrated these levels, right? All these levels, but it bounced, so not bad. Alice, as you could see, it penetrated, but still no new low, so that's positive. No new low is positive. Atom, new low, which I highlighted last time, so it's making new low, right? So I would say whatever high that you saw in this week, it must break above that to come out of this, otherwise it'll keep dragging. And then this is the next level, 17 is the next level. Then AVAX. Okay, so it got support from this. The next one is around 51, right? Right now this is still a downside. If so, weekly is still down. It has to break above 110. XS is showing strength, As you could see, it's not as bad as some of the coins. It's holding up this level, but if this is taken, then the next is pretty deep. So that's some of the good coins has this advantage because they moved up so much, they literally don't have enough support. So if you look at this is the support, right? But then the next support is actually pretty deep at 56. There's no other support, major support. Yeah. So block is a relatively new coin. Um, so not bad at this moment, but yeah, if it breaks below 0.07, then it's really bad. Anyway, this has already broken. All the coins have broken the supports. You know that, right? All the supports. I'm not going to remove those supports because those supports are required. So all the previous resistance are going to be your support, right? And when the price move up, those previous resistance become resistance again. Those are still valid. So the old resistance, unless I change it, those are valid ones. BNB, quick bounce. It broke this one, but quick bounce, recovering very quickly. As you can see, pretty strong bounce, right? So looking positive that way. CELR went down pretty badly, and I mentioned that this is the level and there is no other support level until this cluster, and I actually almost touched this cluster. After this one, it has a support at this level 0.03, and then this last, but there's nothing because it went up so much without any break. It is going to mm, create a mirror image. Okay, what you saw here, it is going to happen. I mean, it is going to replicate with the red candle if it doesn't break above 0.11. So that if is important. Yeah, but yeah, this is, it will just so that's the disadvantage of these coins. It more damage. Crow, similar thing. When it goes up, they go up like crazy, and then same thing, they're equally crazy when they go down. So when you choose fast moving coins, that's the thing, you will enjoy when they go up, but then it brings tears when they go down. So that's why I suggested one of the strategies, that when you see risk, one of the options could be you move from faster moving to slower moving coin, right? That's a strategy. Anyway, so you see that this low is actually this high, so you can say that it has retested this point of rejection. That means if this is taken down, then it's likely to go for 0.26 or all the way to 0.2, because there's nothing in between. So far so good. Doge re-enter the descending triangle. It does. It penetrated the triangle, re-entered. So it would take some time. If it is able to retain this level and move up and could break above 0.23, that's the required level. If it is able to break above 0.23, then it will be all right. Otherwise, it will have a bad end, in terms of like it could touch 0.08. So drop could be 50% or 70% from this level uh, with Doge. But yeah, it requires 0.23. So it all depends on how good it, I mean, how depends on the bounce. Dot, as expected, this particular level supported, right? If you, after this, so it touched this support, and then this was the next one, as I mentioned, one of the calls. So this is a big cluster. If this is broken, there's nothing much actually until this level. 17, 18. But as you see, I mean, I'm giving these levels, but the point is ultimately, in this case, they follow Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin bounces, they bounce, right? So mm, even if you follow Bitcoin, that's good enough. But I can understand that if you are holding alts, then you have to know certain levels. I'm highlighting. But if you go with a money stop strategy, which I explained, then it's very easy in approach B. That's how it should be. Anyway, so this dot has to get up to 36, at least 36, and ideally 42 plus, because this is left hand shoulder, this is head, and the right shoulder could actually, it could form a right shoulder all the way to up this level, and then could go down. There are so many coins with this kind of a pattern, which I had highlighted long ago. Right? You see, this is left hand side, this is left shoulder, this is head. The head is complete, this is your neckline. Let me spend a little time here. This is your neckline, right? If you can Google what is head and shoulder, and then you will find all this. This is neckline. Sometimes there are spikes, so you have to consider some range. And sometimes you can, like, simply you can draw a rectangle. So it's a neck rectangle, not neckline, because there was a ugly spike. Anyway, so this becomes a critical band. Let's say what you see here is shape wise is this curve. If I may add here, I change it to some other color to highlight. Right? And this is the head all the way down, right? All the whole entire shape. So this head is complete. So the pattern is not complete yet. This is under, it's forming, and then this is shoulder, which could so the whole this the bounce could go all the way up. And many people, if they don't, not so here there is a decision. The head and shoulder doesn't mean it goes down. People think that way, but it doesn't. uh, there are certain conditions, then they need to be they need to be met. Otherwise it's not that head and shoulder myth goes down. No, it's not like that. So head is complete, and then shoulder will be formed, and it could be bounce up to this, or it could be up to support level. It all depends on, it may not form head and shoulder, the right shoulder. It may bounce this much and goes down. So it may not go all the way, but this is a limit. Right? It could go all the way on the upside and go. Everybody will be excited, and then it could really dive, go deeper like this. This is, and that would be the realization of head and shoulder. But as I said, it not all head and shoulder breaks down, and it has to be tracked. So if this head and shoulder breaks this blue line like 41.6, then the head and shoulder will be invalidated. Patterns form, but they also get invalidated, means they breaks, and then you have to, TA has to track it and say this is broken and so on. So I'm giving you the condition that if it breaks above this R13 41.6, then this will not go down, this will go up, and then look for R15. I took dot as an example. There are so many coins with similar structure. Okay, and then if it goes down, this, as I explained, then go deeper. EGLD bounced from the support line I had shared 220. Now it is above R15, right? This is a heavy cluster. After this, the next one is pretty deep, 136. Now this is a decent bounce. I would say it requires at least 395. If 395 should be good enough for it to sail through. So some coins you would see that they are really strong in terms of recovery. They went down, but you have to see, you this is your homework. How, what percentage you look for is very interesting if you're interested, because this will help you in choosing coins. Okay, you have to see the recovery strength of different coins. So if the recovery strength of any coin is good, that means that coin has momentum, and that is very important, uh, comparatively speaking, and that will help you in choosing. If you are planning to reshuffle your portfolio, that will help you. So do this study, very easy study. What percentage drop you saw, what is the percentage recovery out of total? So if it dropped by 40%, how much is recovered compared to coin A, coin B, and so on? And then you see who is making progress. If anyone making progress in terms of recovery is a better coin. Of course, it's not forever, but at least in the current phase, you can say that okay, this is a this is the horse I should bet on, because that horse is showing strength. Not necessarily that horse would go old, right, and may not win the race. Some another new young horse might come, and then you have to bet on that, and so on. So look for the horse which is winning. So that's the level. Ethereum bounced from R16, and then yeah, not bad, right? So it requires 4536. I'll take a quick pause. I had to get my charger. Um, I'll be right back in a minute. Not my charger, laptop charger, but yeah, I think I also need charging. I'll sleep much. So Ethereum, if not that bad, and this is a coin with strength. It's stronger than Bitcoin in terms of recovery and support in recent times. Everything changed in last 1 year. Bitcoin used to be the boss. I think Ethereum is kind of a boss now, though it's number two, but it's showing more strength. Whether Bitcoin supporters like or not, it, that's how it is. Okay, this is pretty weak. As you could see, this was the last time when we saw this was an alert. So it tried to re-enter the trend line. You saw how it behaved. It tried to re-enter but failed, and then made this. So this was pretty easy. It hit the support. It came down multiple times, twice. So anyone holding file, this is no brainer. Right, so now for this, it has to go back, right? It has to retain this level pretty higher, 66. Otherwise, it's probably we should. I feel like we can drop this coin, but no, I mean this coin is so good fundamentally because it's being used practically. NFT and all I mentioned earlier, I learned that this is practically being used. So sometimes the market punishes some coins which are actually strong fundamentally and practically used. That's some surprising, and sometimes some kind of a crap coin go up. I don't understand, but that's the what can we do? I mean, otherwise this coin is really being used in good use cases. You could imagine distributed file system. Anyway, so that's the that's the situation. FTM. So FTM also like this is also vulnerable because in a way there's no support after this. We talked about this one. So huge candle. If you look at the drop, let's measure the drop in terms of percentage, right? Weekly drop, let's say 49. almost 50% drop. 50% drop. Yeah. Now this is not a surprise, because if this, look at this candle, if this coin has a tendency, so if whenever you see a coin making this kind of a move, that means this coin also could make move on the downside with the same intensity. So this is where the choice comes in. When you select coin, do pay attention on the coins, because when the things, everything is good, people don't think about downside. But you have to, when you make your portfolio, you have to mix coin. If you take all the fast moving coins, they're good as long as the trend is up, but they're equally bad when the trend is down. So you have to be very much aware when to reshuffle, when to replace or reduce, whatever strategy you go for. Yeah, you cannot have the same strategy, you cannot have the same bag all the times, because you saw this one. Let me tell you that if this is not able to go high enough, you are going to see 0.717, this one, not kidding, all the way here. There's nothing in between. Of course, not in a 1 day or two. Eventually, if this trend continues, huge, huge, huge drop. Yeah, and if it goes up, then it will do fantastic job. So it all depends. Amazing coin. But I had highlighted earlier that if you refer to 3 weeks ago, that the coins are amazing, but you have to know their weakness, and then you have to start understanding that coin is getting weaker. Then don't attach yourself. One of the users used to like this mug, and I told him that, okay, but keep an eye. Then marry. Don't marry to the coin. So, anyways, the difference between successful and failed people are nothing but the choices they made. It all depends on the choices. Everybody has the same time and same resources. The difference is in the choices. Um, FTT. FTT now it's hanging around this support level. If I would say so, it requires 58 plus. So as I mentioned earlier, nothing wrong in bottom fishing if you're interested, but unless it breaks above 58, like whatever level I gave for different coins, in this case FTT, if unless it breaks above 58k, sorry, $58, assume it's a short term. Okay, the until that level is broken above, assume anything could happen in between. And yeah, because it could retest again this one, and if this is failed, then look for lower level and so on, as usual. So I'm highlighting different levels. You can refer this video later. So all the levels that I'm highlighting, that this is the required level. I already mentioned, I'm not going to post because it's too much for me to post, right? It's easier for you to go back in this video and say, okay, what was the level and was talking about, and then you can say, okay, now FTT, oh, he said 58 is the required. That means, okay, that means until 58 is not hit, it's not that you do nothing. It's a choice. You may wait, but if you're taking that, you have to consider that 58 is must to have, and nothing less than that. Otherwise, there can be surprises. So if you're mentally ready that I'm taking in, but with a condition that it's not kind of a high probable success, there's the success is conditional, then there's no shock. you're prepared. The challenging part, you know what, is that the stop loss is also pretty deep, because let's say if even if you take this one, you have to have minimum 15% stop loss. So even if you enter, you have to enter a very small amount from money management point of view, because if this is taken down without making new low, even if it is taken down, then also you lose 15%, which is a big amount. So if you are entering in any coin here on, it must be tiny. It must be tiny, and not financial advice. This is the best practice, and then you ramp up on the rise. If you don't do that, then there's a high probability that if the lows are taken, then there could be huge loss. GRT broke below the trend line. It will try to re-enter, right? So nice bounce, nice bounce. It has to break above $1 at least, right? $1 is the requirement. HNT R6 is the requirement. It must break above R6. Not bad. See, if you look at, it is still making higher lows, so it's not bad as such. Yeah, but because it has a great distance, this is huge move in a sense in terms of percentage. Not a, even if it, so I can say nothing to worry. Let's say it won't be a problem even if it comes down to 18, but in terms of percentage loss, this is a huge loss. So that's why, though structurally there is nothing wrong, percentage drop point of view is huge, because these coins, some of the coins went up, have gone up significantly high and quickly. That's why this was a new coin, kind of a victim was added middle of the correction. Anyway, so it broke the support, tried to break above, but I gave this level in between few days ago, if you remember, that it has to break above green level. It didn't, so that was a condition. So I hope this helped, because someone was asking how about HTR, and I said this is the green level. It requires green levels. This levels has significance. So importance. Again, I would say the same. It requires at least 1.9 KCS, one of the strongest, right? One of the strongest. Look at that. It doesn't budge. So the recent low is a support, obviously, and then $15 range is a huge support. I think this is very simple. It has to break above R5. So I'll give R6 later. When I see it is above R4, then I'll give. At this moment, doesn't make sense. I clearly see that Ethereum is getting the liquidity huge way, not Bitcoin. Ethereum. People are, as if people are um, um, buying Ethereum at this moment. That's what I'm seeing from its move. Early days, not so long ago, people used to do that with Bitcoin. This is some change. It looks like people are buying Ethereum. In fact, one of the Twitter followers said, I'm on Ethereum. That's the first time I heard from anyone, because people used to say, I'm on Bitcoin now. Because the pair, even some another folk, okay, this has broken this Ethereum pair. I said, why? As if so, it's like BTC was the pair people used to track. Now look at Ethereum is a new benchmark, as if, which is interesting and a trend changer for sure, because it never happened before until recent time. So Ethereum is new benchmark and a kind of safe haven for many. and I can clearly see from its price action the way it is recovering, as if people are moving into Ethereum instead of Bitcoin, which is very interesting. Anyways, KDA strong coin, but at the same time, it could generate huge candle right as well, but nice recovery. See, so it must break about 20.4, the orange level. It must break about. That's the requirement. And all this previous level can be used for support. There's no other support until this from a candle point of view, which is too low. That's why this blue levels can be used. KSM must break above R9. Not bad, as you could see. Not bad. Not that bad. Link is okay, sort of showing weakness. See this. You can also another see how what all coins actually touch May, June. See this July, August low. This is one of the coins. So this coin, something happened to this coin. I mentioned earlier that this coin has lost its charm. This used to be the hero. Those who are in crypto for last 3-4 years, they know what I'm saying. This coin used to be the hero. Everybody used to talk about Chainlink, link, and see this how the things change. Nobody talks about Link these days. I mean, there's still great supporters. I'm not saying they disappeared, but things change. People move to some different coins. Trend changes. They prefer different coins and so on. Chainlink is the past now, and its price action also shows that how weak this coin is. Yeah, so it can so you can see this is a retest, but no, I think hardly any coin actually reached to this level. This is one of the coins we saw so far. Maybe there are some, but no. It's the first coin. Came all the way here. LTC is also kind of a weak coin. You see it broke this level, September low. It bouncing, but it broke it. And yeah, so this is the last layer for it. But this coin fundamentally has strong properties, but unfortunately, it's not so attractive to people. Actually, this is more useful than Bitcoin as far as practical usage is concerned, payment point of view. But no value. It has immense value from use case, but no value on exchange, comparatively speaking. High security, high enough, never been hacked. So many years of proven record, very low fees, fast transaction, perfect for payment. $160. What is this? Not fair. But what can we do? That's a marketplace, right? Market decides. So price and intrinsic value, sometimes I see huge gap. Bitcoin, for practical purpose point of view, is too pricey. Eventually, when they complete they're still coding, and eventually, if they are able to complete, then probably it will. But it's too pricey. It's speculative that how it will be used in future, and if that assumption is proven to be wrong, or it will be of no use. The underlying assumption that it will be a currency, world currency, not that Satoshi wanted. It's so interesting. I don't want to go into that direction. But the all the hodlers have that vision that BTC will become world currency, and they bought because of that reason. Everybody knows that it's a crap coin as far as payment is concerned because of high fee and no scalability. Even Satoshi would know. And he had a plan. When Mike Hearn asked that question, he had a plan to how to uh, increase the throughput scale. But Bitcoin Core is focusing on Lightning Network, and that is still being developed. It's not done. El Salvador is using but small amount. So yeah, the big bet on BTC is that it will eventually become a world currency. And my take officially on this record, I think they're dreaming. It will never happen. But I'll leave it to that without any. That's my stand. Anyway, so LTC is good coin in short, but look at the value. I feel sorry for that this coin. Seriously, I used to like. That's why we had a currency, and it has all good reasons, but that's how the market is. Anyways, Luna is one of the strongest one, as you could see. R&D pumped. It's past 6. Wow, it's so tempting that I jump over. Luna is moving up, so recovering the loss quickly. Mana is also amazing bounce, and it turned green, right? So if it can stay, it goes above R7, and then it's a good. Then all good. It's so if 4 plus is good. So it's changing the game here. Matic is anyway good. There was a bad drop, but no structural damage. One, it has to break above R13, and so there's still some ground to cover, right? Opal, not bad actually. It was able to hold R2, so R2 provided the support earlier last week and this time. This is a coin which is something special, right, from Metaverse. So it is up by 7% on 1 day scale, rising quickly. But let me tell you, this is not this height a borderline. So it has to break above R4. Okay, anything below R4 is not good enough. But this is probably, it would look different because it's +7 compared to some other which is -10. But for example, KCS, we saw KCS is -6, but with a -6, KCS is equally strong, in fact stronger. Yeah, you might be amazed, but equally strong, if not less. But people say, oh, this is -6 and this is +6, but KCS is much stronger comparatively than RNDR structurally. So that's good. Sand is also strong coin, as we know. So nice bounce. It has to break above this orange level, which is 7.39, and once it breaks above 7.39, then it should continue. It reacted from R7, so it got support from R5. So after that, R4 is, so you these levels are known to you. It's pretty easy for you to track. SCLP, um, what to say? So it's reacted from R1. It tried to break above R1, and we'll have to see it. Right now, there is no sign of bounce, looking weak. So RNDR, don't get mesmerized with 0.6. Okay, just try to keep yourself cool and neutral. Uh, the moment you're excited, you're gone. The moment you panic, you're gone. When I say gone means you lose the balance, mental balance for trading. You take major decision only when you are totally stable without any excitement, like the water in the lake, not like a stream flowing water, still water. When you are with that state of mind, take the trade when planning, okay? Not when you are full of emotions. In fact, that's true for any major decision in life. That's my experience. When you say yes to someone or no to someone, don't say that if you are if you are with emotion that more. When you are very calm, no emotion, then you decide what to say, yes or no. Yeah, for major things. SKL, pretty deep. This is, but look at the bounce, strong bounce. But yeah, this is like link. It really touched July low. It's coming. It's recovering pretty fast. So I would say, yeah, this it extended this one like this. So it has to break above this level 0.37 again. 0.37 is needed. SOL touched what level? R18. Yeah, it's R9 right now. It's near R19. So it touched R18. Not bad, right? Now, this is simple. It requires 4 to 40 plus. Then it should continue. Anything less is not good enough, right? And then yeah, so this is the next support. So it's good, pretty strong coin. You can imagine because these are NFT platforms. These are in demand at this moment. Metaverse thing, NFT thing. They are relatively strong. So that's the trend. I mean, that's the thing. They're trendy. So different coins have different phases. Uni has retested this level and very similar to SKL. So same story. It has to break about 23 plus 24. We can say 24. Very much like similar setup. You could see. In fact, it's a descending triangle. So this is not complete. It has to. It is not complete. So the pattern is not complete, right? So the probability of going down is not high. It has to fill up this triangle at least 70-80%. But this trend, this line is valid. Triangle is not valid, but it could end up with that. Okay, so VET was very strong earlier. It was spending time near the support. Now it must break above 0.13. 0.13 is needed. Then it should be back in the game. We are a strong coin if you look at the past and also recent this one. So it has retested this cluster, as you can see, this levels. That's so this is a good bounce so far. Now above the support level, and I would say the requirement for this is 0.063 at least. It requires that much. Then it should sail through, right? And yeah, but if this is broken, there's nothing much to support until 0.018, this level approximately. There's nothing much. Okay, with that note, looks like this is the time where alts are bouncing. Some alts are bouncing at different faster, or different speed, as you could see. And that's going to be the case all the times, because they fall with a different percentage. Their speed is going to be different, right? But big picture point of view, the direction point of view, track the big guy, BTC, right? It all depends. So before we close, let's have a quick look at a lower time frame and see what it wants to do, just to get an idea. You can see that it tried to break above orange, struggle, went down, but not deep enough, went up. Now it re-entered this zone, right? Now, so it's making slow progress, steady progress. So if it continues like this, and we'll have to see, but this could take time. Now, the interesting thing is, when Bitcoin slowly make progress, it doesn't hurt any else. It doesn't suck any liquidity. Similarly, when it moves sideways also, so whether it moves up slowly or moves sideways, alts you know go up quickly. But if Bitcoin drops significantly, like drop by 3% plus 4%, then it takes down everything. So that relationship is a general understanding, right? It's not a law or rule, but general understanding that little bit of upside move is good for alts, little bit of sideways move is also good for alts. More than 3-4% of drop is not good for alts. Then alt go mad and then go deep. I mean, they go down even faster. And on the upside, there's usually everything goes up, but in some cases, Bitcoin suck the liquidity, and it kind of overpower. That happens. But these are the general rule, general observations based on past. So what you see here is a steady, slow progress, and that's why also flourishing. And then you have to see how long this continues. And the moment it starts making a big move on the downside, then you have to immediately look for your alts, because they are going to react sharply, right? So in this kind of a mode, they are going to do well, and they'll try to recover as much as possible. And as I said, it is a homework to find out what all coins recovered fast, what all coins have gone down by what percentage. And then there you will understand that if you want to change what all coin you should have, and so on. At least you will have more data, a different perspective. So with that note, I end this session and open for any question.